New Paradigmers. It's Guy Pacha with the weekly Pele Report for November 1st, 2023. Time flies by whether you're having fun or not, doesn't it? It is already November. It's Scorpio season. We're going to talk a little bit about Scorpio today. And I don't know where I'm going, but even when you do know where you're going, you may end up someplace where you didn't think you would end up. So let's just see where this path leads. I'm going along the river. And yeah, dealing with some opposition these days, are we? Sun opposite Jupiter, and that is exact tomorrow. Mercury opposite Uranus, that is exact on Saturday. Venus opposite Neptune, that is exact on Friday. We got some oppositions going on. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm gonna... let's just go a little farther here, climb up these rocks. What the heck? Moon's in Gemini. Ready for a change? Changeable. But she is going to go into Cancer today. So get ready for some more deep feelings. She's going to trine the sun tomorrow. Water everywhere. And along with that square Chiron. And then, she moves on through Cancer. Trines Mercury and Neptune. There's going to be a grand trine. Moon, Mercury, Neptune on Friday. So that could be something nice. I hope so. Except that what? Well, very shortly after that, she opposes Pluto. So it may not last too long. Goodness gracious me. And then on Saturday, what happens? Big bad boy Saturn stops dead in his tracks. I mean, he's been going super slow. He's been at that 0 degrees, so many minutes of Pisces for quite some time. But he is turning around to go direct. Woo! Things will be changing. And we'll see what that leads to. On Sunday, we've got, and I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for it today, and that is third quarter. Right? The moon is waning. That's a third quarter square to the sun. Yeah, that's on Saturday. And then on, that's on Sunday. Sorry about that. On Monday, finally, we've got Venus trine Pluto and Mercury trine Neptune. So things should be getting a little smoothed out. After all these squares and oppositions and Saturn sitting there direct, it looks like I've got a good little spot over here. I'm going to sit down, look at you, and talk about what it all means. Oh, shit, almost fell in the fucking water. I'll give you a little shot of the river out here before I sit down. There it is. This is the Bear River. Bear used to be my totem animal. It's good to have a power animal. You may be wanting to get in touch with your power animal these days if you're not. Anyway. All right, everybody. Blah, blah, quack, quack. I am sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to say before I say it, and it just doesn't work because I could sit on this rock by the river all day long. That could be the song for this week. Bob Dylan, I'm going to sit here and watch the river flow. That would be a good one. I always think of so many freaking songs for the week. Oh, but how about that mantra? Whoa. To celebrate Halloween last night with my grandkids, I was Spider-Man. A year ago, and I think I'm going to try to dig up that picture, I was down in Mexico for the Day of the Dead, where I think they really celebrate this time, this Scorpio period, better than any other place I've ever been. And it is a very powerful time of year. And that was actually where I first heard from. I went to a Tantra workshop on death, and Harish gave the line that we will die in a moment just like this. And we did a whole workshop on death and dying. And, this is the period. And this is the time in the northern hemisphere where the leaves are falling from the trees, and the seeds are dropping, and it is time. It's fall, and things are going down, inward. This is fixed water, Scorpio. Still waters run deep. It is the well of inwardness. And metamorphosis, transformation, death leading to future resurrection, but not without the death part in it. That's the nasty, isn't it? I remember reading Tales of Power. Carlos Castaneda is so freaking great. I love that series. And they're driving through the desert, and there's a pair of headlights behind them, and Carlos is like, oh man, this guy won't get out from behind me. What do I do? Don Juan, do I let him pass me? Do I, slow down, speed up? Should I try to lose him? Should I, and Don Juan just goes, that's death. And you will not lose it. We are always being followed. We are always, being seen. We are always available for the Grim Reaper. And it is a reminder, isn't it? It's a constant reminder if you constantly think about it, of course, to live life to the fullest, to love as much as is possible, to give and receive and experience the greatness, the beauty, the splendor, the magnificence of this earthly, worldly creation. And yet there are very many distractions and very many desires and fears and traumas, and oh my goodness, we don't have reincarnation for nothing. I mean, it takes thousands of lives down here to freaking get it. I mean, I woke up this morning, I got this stiff neck. It is so super sore. It's been 3 days, and it's getting more painful instead of less. And it's getting harder, and it's draining my energy, and it's bringing me down, and I'm getting the blues. And it's a reminder of how temporary this physical body is and how challenging life can be. And then I get this little pain in the neck. That's all it is. It's a little pain in the neck. And it just brings me around to, whoa, my problems are nothing compared to what is going on over there in Israel and Palestine, and what is going on over there in the Ukraine, and what's going to be going on in Taiwan, and what's, going on, I mean, the polarities are building and polarizing, and yeah, I just, heard a little bit of a clip from Elon Musk. Joe Rogan interviewed Elon Musk. I don't know if you're familiar with Joe Rogan. He's on Spotify. You could check him out. But this whole left and right and the censorship, and some of this I think just happens when I spend too much time in the United States. But let's get to the astrology of it. Besides the Sun, Mercury, and Mars moving through Scorpio, which brings up the taboo. Let's talk about the taboo. Let's feel into the taboo. What are people afraid to talk about? What is the elephant in the room? Okay, Scorpio wants to do this and dig deep down and find out why. Why me? Why now? Why you? Why this? Why that? What is underneath the surface? Let's dig past the superficial glamour of what is being presented to get down to the deepest motivations, the deepest causes, and the deepest shadow. Yeah? And the shadow is what has been suppressed, avoided, and denied, that festers and molds and, gets projected. And here's where we want to deal with projection, and we want to deal with these oppositions, because the 7th and the 8th house, Libra, Scorpio, has to do with projection out into the other. The North Node, Eris, Chiron, in Aries with Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus is, over here. It's like my responsibility, my inner reality, time to, focus and look and dwell, delve down deep within myself. It's very, very powerful and very beautiful. So, let's look at it. First of all, we've got, and I'm going to read you just a little bit. I sometimes read too much, but you can look at it yourself. I'll put the link for the Sabian symbols down below in the notes on YouTube, and you can download the PDF yourself. But it was April 12th. If you go back to April 12th, that is when the sun was conjunct Jupiter. Okay, that's the seed that was sown. April 12th, sun conjunct Jupiter at 21 degrees 41 minutes, okay, of Aries. And I just find it very, very beautiful, okay? And this is the key. I was going to save this to the end. C'est la vie. 2 dignified spinsters sitting in silence. The ability to transform a natural lack of potency into poise and inner serenity. Is that not the call? And is that not what the mantra is about? Yeah? There are things that we can't control outside of us, going on out in the world, and it can be very disturbing, and it can really, create a lot of inner chaos, havoc, fear, sadness, grief. And we can get lost there, and we can go down that rabbit hole. But this is the ability to transform, and this is Chiron in Aries, the lack of potency. It's amazing because, you know what? Oh shit! I read the wrong one, man. This is actually the 17th degree where these guys come together. This 17th degree is where the North Node conjuncts Chiron in mid-February. That's why I was saving it to the end. Yeah? We know that they are now 8 degrees apart right now, which is technically a conjunction, and they're going to remain in conjunction for like 8 months. Okay, the nodes go so slow, Chiron goes so slow, and it's not going to be till mid-February, okay, that they really come together. But this is the path of evolutionary destiny, needing to heal the wound of impotency, of the wound of Chiron and Aries, the wounded masculine. I don't deserve to exist, so I am going to strike out, and I am going to take, and I am going to conquer, and it's an overcompensation into the macho expression of the masculine that's been going on for thousands of years. This needs to be healed. This needs to be looked at. This needs to be felt. This needs to be transmuted and transformed. And this is kind of a key on how to do that. Yeah? So let me just jump to it, man. Here we have a symbol. Well, in our culture, the spinster represents the woman who has been unable to meet or accept the vitalizing power of love and organic fulfillment through biological polarization. Yet the symbol depicts two spinsters, emphasizing that refusing the natural expression of bipolar love has produced a special kind of experience. The two women are silent because this dualism has a narcissistic character. Inward, Aries Taurus, yeah. Life has turned inward, seeing itself in a self-created mirror. We have here the result of an inward approach to potency. The ascetic or the saint also turns inward, but accepts a higher non-biological type of polarization. Man and God. So, this is, it refers to the value of a dignified inward withdrawal. Now, there's part of me that really wants to get politically active and try to, get, Bobby elected in the United States and and turn things around, change things around, get out there, get it. But here we see, I don't know if it's just necessary that humanity now goes through a death rebirth, a repolarization, a metamorphosis that involves a tremendous amount of pain, suffering, death, in order to have an opening, an awakening, a liberating. And let's just think about that liberating, because that is Mercury-Uranus, right? I'll come back to the Sun Jupiter. That's, because that's another good one. But, well, let me read that Sun Jupiter, because it's right there. 22 degrees of Aries is when they came together. I already gave you the date, right? And what is that one? The gate to the garden of all fulfilled desires. Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries. Abundance made possible by human togetherness and cooperation. So here we have, like I said, these oppositions, okay, just like that full moon eclipse, okay, that we just had, just like now we've got, Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus, Venus, Neptune. The opposition deals with a halfway part of the cycle, and in this case, it's about 6 months ago. Sun, Mercury, Venus, they all go around about once a year, right? And that opposition is that over these last 6 months, it has been about inward preparation, and now it is time to either retreat, and we're not ready yet, or we can go into fear, but it is time for us to blossom, and it's time for us to come out into relationship, into, partnership, and into these, abundance is found through human cooperation, right? The second half of the cycle is objective social involvement. So we're at a turning point. It's an evolutionary gate. How do we go forward out of ourselves into the world? Do we go, with a sword and a shield and a helmet and, a need to protect or defend or conquer and convince and convert others to, our perspective, overpower, the other, bring them over to our side, make us even stronger and more right and more correct, and be on the offensive? Or do we stay defensive? Do we retreat? Do we go inward? Do we refuse the evolutionary call to a greater participation? The answer has to be, hopefully, no. One way or another, okay, the evolution does involve us going forward out of ourselves into the world. And so how do we do that? And, to me, the key and what the mantra is about today, what I want to bring forward, to you today and with you today is not only that message, yes, of finding this inward peace, but I also just want to consider the moon square the sun. It is happening at the 13th degree of Leo. The moon is at the 13th degree of Leo on Saturday, I think, or Sunday, and it squares the sun at the 13th degree of Scorpio. I've read this one before. It's an old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage. This is where Venus stationed when she went retrograde, if you recall, last August. The keynote is the quieted mind's recollection of crisis and joys long past. The sea captain has steered the ship of his ego consciousness through seas and storms, maintaining the integrity of his individual selfhood while in close contact with the collective unconscious, the sea. Now retired, he may try to distill wisdom from his many experiences and from his victory over elemental forces. The swing of the child consciousness has now become a rocking chair, from which one can contemplate past as well as present scenes, gently moving as waves roll over the shore. Peace at last. This is great, man. Yeah, the key word is quiet recollection. Saturn, the old man rocking on the seashore, is coming into stillness, still, quiet reflection. Not the doing. Okay, usually Aries and Mars energy is do, masculine, go, manifest, create, charge. But here we're having, okay, even Chiron is retrograde, the moon's node is retrograde, Saturn is stationary, where, this is a time of inner contemplation and even silence. Taurus is silence. Yeah, Jupiter and Uranus, the gateway to fulfillment and abundance now is silence. And we have to remember the moon's nodes go around every 18 and a half years. So 9 years from now will be a time when the North Node is in Scorpio and Libra and Sag, where we need to get out and go. But now it is a time of maintaining inner balance, calm, peace, joy, forgiveness and compassion in the heart space. And this is just how we go forward. So it's like, it's bizarre, isn't it? The best thing that we can do right now is be peace and be harmony and be love and contentment within ourselves. We may not be able to bring it to the world. We may not create it. We may not be potent. Right? This potency and impotency. This is not a time of personal potency. I'm very sorry. It actually reminds me of, and my neck pain and everything. I remember this Buddhist saying, it's like the Buddhist monk got cancer. And, the Rinpoche just said, now you have the opportunity to do your practice at a new level. Yeah? So with World War III coming, with censorship coming, with, the human extinction project, happening, with, all everything that is coming at us, our challenge now is to maintain equanimity, because we may die at any moment. The idea here is to die with having the right thought, be thinking the right thought, be feeling the right feeling, be centered in our truth, in our core, in love and peace. And I think compassion, gratitude, and thankfulness. There's a whole bunch of mantras that I was thinking of for this week that, really had to do with, gratitude, but I have to apologize a little bit for the mantra this week because it says mile, and I know that's kind of a United States kind of a thing. Everybody else is kilometers. This country is just, I'm going to Bali next week. I can't wait to get out of here, man. Anyway, speaking of getting out of here, I don't want to hold you up any longer. I will die in a moment like this and intend to go with a smile, knowing that I gave it my all and went the extra mile. Saturn rules suppression and control, limitation and blocks. He's gone retrograde, and he's about now to go direct and bring into fruition all the points that he's passed through March, April, and May. 0 to 7 degrees of the mutable signs. So we're at a turning point here, and this moving forward, this moving out is going the extra mile. Giving it all I've got. To me is, I'm going to let you interpret it yourself, But it does have to do with choices. The choices that we make. And Saturn with limitations, are we going to allow ourselves to be limited in our thoughts and in our hearts and in our actions by these outside external authority figures and forces? And the answer hopefully is no. And, it's, and that we make our choices from a place of freedom, not a place of fear. And that we decide, our health options, Venus moving through Virgo, this is a time of looking, okay? I'm on this whole thing of this parasites, there's just like so many parasites. Neptune rules the immune system. We all need to improve, build up our immune system. We all need to do a cleanse. Liver cleanse, kidney cleanse especially. These guys are working overtime with all the toxics in our diets. And, it's just like, going this extra mile. For now, I want to say you want to go the extra mile in taking care of yourself and remaining healthy. And health is a spiritual, mental, emotional, physical state of being. So we have to watch our psychic space, our thoughts and ideas, our emotions and our feelings, because they result in our physical realities. I have a pain in the neck. I'm not going to go into. I can explore the meaning of what that is. In some ways, I think we all have a pain in the neck these days. Maybe I'm doing a collective pain in the neck. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to just one more time, baby. Ow! I will die in a moment just like this, and I intend to go with a smile, knowing that I gave it my all and went the extra mile. Find it deep down within yourself. Scorpio digs deep down within ourselves. Root chakra, Pluto, Kundalini, Chi energy. Find that power deep down within yourself to go the extra mile for yourself. And when you are at peace and joy, the world will reflect your inner truth and your inner reality. So let's mind our own business. That's what my mom used to say, MYOB. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Oh gosh, and guess what? I did a reading for a sweet woman from India. And she said, Namaste is hello. You can't close your Pele Report with Namaste. And I'm like, oh my God. You mean I'm supposed to change? Yeah. So, I'm changing my closing from namaste to shanti, peace. Yeah. So it's going to be shanti, aloha, so much love.